Hey guys, welcome back to the Boss Podcast. I'm Mindy Lincecum, your host, and today we'll be talking about more bridal owner success stories with Alicia Adams, who's in the studio today from Louisiana. Hi, Alicia.
Hello.
So glad you're here. Can you tell us the name of your store and where you're located and how long you've been doing this? Just tell us about you.
Okay, so my store is Hers Bridal on special occasions. We're in North Louisiana, which is Minden, Louisiana. It's about 30 minutes from Shreveport. And me and my husband bought the store 10 years ago, and we just celebrated. Hers Bridal just turned 50 years old, and so Hers Bridal is 50, and we've had our 10-year anniversary with her. So big thing.
Wow, that's quite a legacy.
Yeah.
Okay, so the most interesting part of what I like to ask to owners is like, how in the world did they fall into this? Because I know you probably didn't dream of always having a bridal store. That wasn't necessarily why you went to college or whatever. So I'm curious, what did you do after high school and how did you land a bridal store?
So obviously after high school, like most people went to college, I was never a really good book sense kind of girl, but had a lot of common sense. So I went to school for a really long time to be a social studies education teacher, and it obviously did not work for me. It took me a long time to figure that out. So I ended up, 2009, I ended up, started working at a not a makeup counter. It's like a mini Ulta. It was locally owned. It was really great. And I got into sales with makeup and started doing makeup, and I truly, like, genuinely just fell in love with it. And then I started freelancing.
Kind of explains why your makeup always looks so good.
Thanks. So I am a licensed makeup artist in Louisiana.
Oh,
So,
Monday, you got to do my makeup.
oh my God, I'd love to. Please, please.
We
I've traveled all over. I've done a lot of really cool things. So
can
I've
you
done
teach
film
me how
productions
to do my
and,
own makeup?
huh?
Can you teach me how to do my own makeup?
I sure can, actually. I've given like lessons, and I've done a lot. So film productions, big photo shoots. Bridal was my specialty because there's not a lot of people in our area that do the airbrush makeup, and so I specialized in airbrush makeup for bridal. And that's kind of how I fell into the bridal industry. So, and then I started freelancing. I kind of like dropped out of college and I got my associates. And then after, that I went back and I don't know, just wasn't, there was nothing I could find that like pulled me in. So, I worked for my parents for about 2 years. They own Impressions Advertising Specialty. So they sell anything with, anything you put your logo on, t-shirts, hats, pens, pencils, they do a lot of branding, things like that. And it was more of an outside sales kind of thing. And working in the makeup industry, when I was working at the small business, obviously that was retail. So I learned a lot between the outside sales and the retail, and I genuinely love
That's
retail.
like a perfect combo for a bridal shop owner.
It is. Like, I love the retail part of it because people typically, like, when they come to you saying this is what I'm looking for, very specific. And then so yeah, I was doing makeup some for my parents, and then me and Thomas kind of started dating, and I wasn't loving selling for my parents, so I just had to find something else to do. And since I was a little girl, I was never a big fashion girl. I never really liked makeup or anything. I was a very tomboy girl. Like, I like to go fishing and be outdoors and all those little things until I got into the makeup. And then I was like, okay, I kind of like this. Like, I'm actually really good at it. So, my mom, Hers Bridal is downtown. She's been downtown. She opened in 1975. And so she moved in the building she is today in 1980. So she's been there for a long time. And my mom said, why don't you just go in there and see if they'll sell you the business? And I said, I don't know. She's like, I don't know. Something tells me that might be closing and it's not working out for the previous owner. And she's like, just walk in there and just see. So I did. I walked in and I said, hey, my name's Alicia, and this is really weird, but I want to buy your business. And the girl's like, no way, not happening. And then, so for about 2 years, I would just stop by once a week, and I would go, and it was one of them old bridal shops where they never threw anything away. Everything was like old, and it was just packed full of stuff. So I would just walk in there and I would like straighten up a rack, or, go in there and just kind of learn something. And I asked if she could hire me. I'd work on commission. And she's like, no, I can't afford it, and things like that. So she, about 3 months, me and Thomas were planning our wedding. And I will say this, I did not want to buy the bridal shop because I was getting married, because there was nothing, I was in that little girl that dreamed of being married my whole life. I was that little girl that dreamed of being a Mardi Gras queen. So,
got your dream.
I got my dream about 2 years ago. It was so fun. So
I know. I
anyways,
really want you to send me pictures of that.
I will. I have lots. Like I'll send you all the highlights. It was
Give
the
me the
most
highlights, girl. I want to see it.
it was the most amazing time. I felt like a rock star for like a whole year. It's 10 out of 10. So, anyways, about 2 months before my wedding, she called and she's like, "Okay, I'll sell you the business." And I was like, "Ugh, your timing is terrible, but I'll do it." So I stopped planning my wedding. It was a hot mess, and I spent a whole month just building a business plan and doing all my research and getting to the bank to get my
No.
small business loan. And February 1st of 2015, we signed the papers. So we took it over in the beginning of January.
And your
Yeah.
husband on board.
Yes. So it was because of him. He like sacrificed all the things, all the collateral, his land, his house, his vehicles, his dad's motorcycle. We put it all on
But
the
you
line.
knew you were going to do it.
Yes, he did. So it's been a challenge. He has a love-hate relationship with the business because it's been a lot on our relationship, but we're still here and we just celebrated our 10 years. So it's
Well, 10 years married in 10 years shop.
yeah, everything. So this year technically I guess is our 11 year because we were in 2014. But yeah, so the store's been with us since the beginning of our marriage. So it's been a journey, I'm not gonna
Like a
lie.
little child. It's like a little child. Do you guys have children or no?
We do not. We don't have kids. We have two little French bulldogs. I just got a new Frenchie. So we have Queen, she's 6 years old, and then my other little Frenchie, he's about 13 weeks, 14 weeks, and
Oh,
he's my new baby, and he is the new bridal shop dog. So he comes to work with me every day, and the customers love him. So he's in training.
I
So
love
to learn
that.
all things, and then we have a cat. So I have to have a cat.
Well, and that's kind of like a blessing in disguise that you've been able to pour into your shop in these seasons, because if you would have had a baby and a new marriage and a new business all at once, I know that for some people that would be a lot.
Yeah, like there's no way we could have done it. Look, seeing you got your baby, so sweet. I know I would have brought Theo, but he would have been like "Wah," all over the place. But yes,
I
it did feel like that for me. For me, it's like the brides are my kids, and my customers are my children. And so when something happens, I don't sleep at night until we fix whatever it is. So
yeah,
yeah, so they are.
that's
Hers
amazing.
Bridal is my big baby.
What else do you sell? So do you sell any other departments besides bridal?
So when I first got the store, they did everything. They did prom, homecoming, mother of the bride, bridal, everything. They did everything but menswear. So I'm probably after this month we're getting rid of bridesmaids. Sadly, I mean it's just the industry is just it's just so
Well, I've explained it's very hard to sell someone a bridesmaid dress when it's not their special day,
yeah.
and they can find it online cheaper for something that's not their, like, they don't care about the experience. Like a bride really wants to have that experience with her mom, and it is her special day, and she might want something a little more special.
That is so true. Yeah. So and there's so many moving parts and so many personalities. And, I've got to the point where I can kind of pick and choose. And so so we do the bridal and then and listen, the last 10 years we tried the homecoming and prom, hated it, got rid of it, did the mother of the bride, they were a whole other beast on their own. And so we just really learned kind of the hard way that bridal was just our niche and we were really good at bridal. So we wanted to pour all of that into that. And then 7 years ago, we just kind of started dabbling in menswear, tuxedo rentals. But we did your class back in September and it was one of my favorite classes you've done so far. So
Really?
so good. I loved it so much. And so after that, I was like, okay, this is what I needed. I'm doing my men's department. So we have a 7,500 square foot building. It is gigantic. We have a whole second floor. And upstairs in the back room, it was storage. It was like my office where we like store everything. And so because of our 50th anniversary, Tom was like, we're going to do a speakeasy for the guys upstairs in the back room. And I was like, no, no, that's not, no. And then I was like, you know what? Let's see this as an amazing opportunity for me to like just go ahead and go full out and make it a men's store and make it into a speakeasy inspired men's store that we would put actually like we would sell instead of just renting. We'll just expand and start like carrying all the suits and tuxes and expand into that, and it's a pretty big space for
I
what
was
we
gonna say,
need.
have you seen any reaction from your clients on it? Are they loving it?
So we just introduced it last Saturday during the fashion show. So it was,
Excited?
yes, oh my God, it was amazing. So we got a couple whiskey barrels. We made like a cool little mock bourbon bar. We brought in the putt putt green golfs, little putt putt greens, and then we're gonna add some flat screen TVs so the games can be watching for the guys. And then when the guys come in, so we actually have our first men's appointment next Saturday in the new space.
You're gonna have to tell me how it goes.
I will. So we don't have the inventory yet, but it's one of those things as we go, I'm gonna gradually, like you, figure out what sells and what doesn't sell. Thomas wants to add a few more things in there, like find a niche market, either like business formal or maybe like some we have a really nice a golf course here in Minden, and a lot of guys are looking for just like some golf clothes, and it's a big enough space to have like a section for that. So he wants to kind of dabble and see, but my main goal is suits, tuxedos, and then business formal. So, um,
Okay, that's
yeah,
exciting.
I'm excited
I'm
about it.
happy for you. Okay, so thinking back over the years, I mean, 10 years, almost 11 years in this business, you've had some stories, I'm sure. Do you recall a time that, like, you can laugh about it now, but in the moment it was so stressful, you were so freaking out?
I'm gonna say, I mean, honestly, the last like 3 months when I decided to add, well, Thomas wanted to do the men's department, and the whole second floor we were gonna use for like the quick changes and for the models. And then I was like, Thomas, like, you don't understand. I have like 20 something models that we're bringing in, and we ended up having 15. And I was like, I have three other boutiques. We didn't just do bridal. We brought in three other boutiques for the big celebration, and so we can get a lot of exposure. And so he was like, but you can make it work. And so I was like, where am I supposed to put the quick changes? So with Kathy, my friend we were talking about earlier, my Kathy bought that building across the street. Well, she's not moving in until December. So we did the quick changes across the street in her building. And the funny thing is I decided to fully renovate a men's department on top of plan this entire fashion show, all on top of each other. And literally up until the minute of people were arriving, I was still like setting things up, and it was a hot mess, but it turned out really good. Like it honestly turned out
Love
great.
it. Isn't that the reality of our life though? As a business owner, we are going from thing to thing to thing, and it's crazy. It's
Yeah,
never a dull moment. You're always trying to plan ahead, but at the same time, it's like this can be tricky
yeah,
and a lot of balls in the air. So, I mean, that's just to encourage people. Like you can do it. It'll be a little crazy, and maybe it won't be your best work. Like I always think, if I only had to do one thing, I'd be amazing, but I have to do like 10 million things. And so I'm like, I'll take an 8 out of 10
uh-huh,
on my, things that I work on because I'm doing more than one thing. So it's amazing that we just get it done. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, and Thomas said, Alicia, you didn't have to like renovate this whole space like for the event. And I was like, but I do. But I did. I had to. And he's like, the timing was terrible. And I was like, exactly. That's why it was the best time to do it. Like the best times to do it is sometimes in the worst timing, because that's an excuse to get it done. And so if I would have just waited till after this event and then waited till busy season's over and then waited for graduations and this is prom's over and then waited till next summer and then the next sale's over, it would have never got done. So I just woke up one day and put my paint clothes on and I said, today's the day, we're doing it. And my husband's like, we're like gonna like, you're crazy.
What's your Enneagram number, Alicia?
Huh?
You know your Enneagram number? Like your personality
No. Oh,
type?
you
Okay.
know what, we did that back in the thing, but I forgot what it was.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so question for you.
Okay.
What do you think is awesome about what we do as bridal shop owners? Like what do you love about your job? And then what do you feel like, oh my gosh, this is the hardest part?
um I think I I think just creating like moments for people. Like I tell girls when they work for me, I said sometimes like you become like a mini celebrity in your own world. And what I mean by that is when we go to Shreveport Bossier, like the big city for outside of Minden, like I'll be sitting at a restaurant and somebody will come up to me and be like, "Oh my God, you sold my daughter her wedding dress, and let me show you pictures of the wedding." And or like, "Oh my God, I bought my dress with you like 2 months ago. We just loved y'all," And I've literally had people like, "Can I get your autograph?" And I'm like, That's weird, but okay. I got that a lot during Mardi Gras. And I was like, sure, I'd love to sign your napkin here. Like, I know that sounds so weird and awkward, but it really is. Like, we get to be so part of people's memories that they always remember who we are. We don't always remember them, but it feels good when I'm sitting at the bar and somebody comes and they give me their phone and then they're like, they show us every little thing of their daughter's wedding. And it just, I don't know. I love that. It's so good.
That's so
So,
great.
and
And
then
then
you
what
said
about what's the hardest part?
figuring it out, figuring it all out. Like I wish I had 10 years ago, I had your program 10 years ago. It would have been great to have the worksheets and the classes and all the things, you know. And I was, was part of the BBG and they're amazing too. And just being able to connect with the women really helps tremendously. But like just making the mistakes and just being like, oh well, I figured that one out. Move on to the next. And I'm still figuring it out, right? I think we all
Mhm.
are. And so that's just challenging, just not knowing until you just figure it out.
Totally. I mean, when you think back to when you bought your shop and all the things that you didn't know, knowing what you know now, would you still do it?
Oh gosh, the amount of things I would have done differently, like prom and homecoming, instantly would have got rid of them. Mother of the bride instantly would have got rid of them. Well, actually, I probably would have stuck with mother of the bride. Looking back, because I feel like they've gone like a full circle. They've gone through like I feel like what the bridesmaids are going through right now is that they didn't realize what they had until they lost it with retail, and now they're all trying to convert back to retail. And so, because internet's not working out for them, and I have a feeling that's what's gonna happen with bridesmaids. It's gonna be like that circle. But I do kind of wish I would have brought them back in. But like little things, trying to add things that you think would work that they don't, and getting rid of all the old stock. You're right. Like a lot of people, you don't need a tremendous amount of inventory. It's quality over quantity. So when I bought the store, there was over 800 dresses in the store that I bought. And yeah.
Wow.
And so I bought, 800 and probably 300 bridesmaids and another 300 mother of the bride. Like, just like you just it's insane to look back. I would have gotten rid of everything. Like instantly I would have cleared the whole store out and just started over. So there's so many things that I learned that I would absolutely do differently. For
Yeah.
sure. 1000%.
What are you like really excited about for 2026? Like, what are you looking forward to?
I feel like you did that class back, I think it's August, about mindset. And so at the beginning, so last June, we all go through phases, but like last June, I went through a really bad phase where I was just like, you know what, maybe it's time for me to like move on and get out. And so I was in such a
Wait, I want
slump.
you to talk about that for a second because thanks for saying that. I think that a lot of owners go through that but don't talk about it.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's important that we talk about it.
Yeah, what were some symptoms that made you realize like, oh, maybe I'm having a hard time?
Yeah, so I had sometimes you get really comfortable and then, you kind of step out of your business a little bit and leave it to your employees. And so I lost my, an employee and, I fired another one. And so I ended up with like just kind of like being by myself again, like that constant like circle of resets. And then I actually had a bride die. And that was like, oh, you get so invested. And then when you get the phone call from her mom, and her kids come and pick up their dress, I mean, it's just, oh, it just crushed me.
A
So I
lot.
was like, maybe this is like, it's so hard. People don't understand, like, we love our customers, we love our clients so much.
Absolutely.
And when that happens, we feel it too. So, like me, like going through that, I was just like, maybe it's time for me to get out. So I actually called my real estate agent and I was like, listen, I was like, I want to see how easy it would be to like sell the business or sell the building, And I said, but the thing is, like, they can't know about it because it's Minden, it's small, like, And so, she's like, yeah. So she has somebody come look at it, and they said within like not even 2 weeks, like probably a week of talking to her, she said, okay, they want to put an offer down, and I was like, that's it, and she's like, yeah, and I was like, oh wait, hold on. That was like way too easy. Like that was just like it was. I said, you know what? I think that I need to step away, and I think I feel like I need to like step back and just like that was so easy. Like, and they were wanting to like offer over asking price and all the things, and I was like, okay, that means I have something special here. So I need to like change my mindset, get back on track, like fight through this, rebuild my team, figure it out. And so I did. And so at the beginning of this year, I told myself, I was like, okay, I have no other options. Like I'm not allowing myself to like waste no more time without making this happen. And so I woke up every day and I was like, I had my silly little, I made me a manifesting video and I've shared it with my friends and they're like, Alicia, this is really cheesy. And I was like, yeah, but it's working. And I'll read it. I'll watch it every day. It's like 3 minutes and it's a weird thing I do. And then I have like podcasts that I've been, the $1 Million Mindset, like she's been amazing. And so like on my TikTok, I just got rid of all the trash on my TikTok, my algorithm, like I reset my algorithm. So now I get just like Rob Dial, being $1 Million, mindset. So I just like, y'all stuff, like anything that's like positive, and if it's not positive, then I'm like not interested. And so all my stuff is just constantly like, and it's hard to push through it. There's days where I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is like not what I'm gonna do today, but I listen to all my positive things every day and my affirmations.
Can I
And
tell you something I do too? Anytime I have a complaint that's like in my spirit that I'm like, oh, this is frustrating. I like force myself to stop and say, think of something I'm grateful for, because this business can be hard, can be exhausting. It's the weekends. I've missed things with my kids. I've missed social things. I've sacrificed a lot to get to
yeah,
be where we are today. And that's true of all bridal shop owners. This is not just my story. And that's why I love doing this podcast, because everybody I've ever interviewed on here, we're all working so hard and sacrificing so much to make this thing go. And what I sit back to do though is like when those hard days come, is I'm like, oh, what can I be so grateful for right now? And I mean, you have built something in the last 10 years that you should be really proud of. And you have made a business that's super profitable. You have made a reputation that Alicia Adams is somebody they can trust in Louisiana for their wedding. I mean, there's so much that we can be grateful for. And then I start to think about too, like when my kids get kind of whiny, I'm like, but think about it. Mom and dad have a business that like is super cool. Like we could be doing really crazy other businesses, but like the wedding industry is like beautiful and something that you can appreciate, like a life moment for someone. And I'm like, there are so many other businesses I would not want to have, that I'm like, if I'm going to have employee problems or payroll problems or HR problems or rent problems, I'm going to have that no matter what kind of company I have.
mhm.
So I might as well do it in an industry that's absolutely so special. So like I just have been making myself be more grateful, and it helps me get through a hard day or hard week or whatever. It's just like, okay, but what's the silver lining here,
Yeah,
And I'm trying to do it out loud, Alicia, because my kids can easily get in that slump too.
yeah,
And then I try to like say, okay, well, what could we be grateful for though in the middle of that frustration? So we're trying to process it out loud, because I think regulating your emotions is one of the best things we can do as a healthy person. And kids are learning how to regulate their emotions, and hopefully as adults we can take control of those moments and be like, okay, let's process how we're really feeling, and it's okay to acknowledge it, but then circle back to what can we be grateful for to get out of this slump. So I love that you talked about the slump, because I mean it is very normal, and we gotta regulate. And it's like
yeah,
you almost gave up something that was so special to you for because you were having a hard season. But I'm so glad that you paused, step back, because I mean, when you do exit one day, you're building a very awesome business. And so, like, I am so proud of you, because when you do exit and you choose that the timing is right, it's going to probably be worth even more than these people were willing to pay. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And so be really proud of yourself, because you're doing a lot of mature things when you kind of step back and pause. Sometimes we just need a break too. Like, I just wonder, did you just need a break? Like, did you just need a sabbatical, like a little time off? Like,
I did, and I took a lot of time off. There were Saturdays if I wasn't busy, I was like, I'm going to the lake. I'm like, I need to reset. I actually the week that my bride died, I a friend, she was going to Grand Isle down south, and she's most beautiful thing on this world, but she loves the fish, and so she has a big saltwater, like she has a she manages big saltwater fishing boats, all things. So I drove down there 6, 7 hours, and we went onto the Gulf, and she actually had her little sad little bass striker that she brought down there because she wasn't gonna go far out. But we went out and we went fishing, just me and her daughter, and the big old Gulf. And I just that weekend saved me. It really did. That's when I was like, I came back and I was like, all right, I gotta get this done. And as far as like being the grateful, yes, I started journaling every day, and it makes me, at the end of the day, I write 5 things I'm grateful for, and in the morning, it asks me what I'm grateful for, and that has really, that has been probably the biggest thing with my mindset is what I'm grateful for, because when you sit down, at first it's really, really, really hard. In my notes, like I journal every day, and they used to be a sentence or two, and now like at the end of the day, like the whole 2 pages are like they're like not only every line's full, but then I have like things all in the corners, and I just go back and like it's like the beginning of my journal. It's like a little bit, and then every just gradual, and now I'm running out of
It's
space.
the transition of the way you've been thinking.
Yes, exactly. And also, like you said, your kids are, like affected by your attitude and your mindset, and, but like that's also your employees too. And so it's like when I have a bad day, it's normally I can just, you can see when I'm upset. And so for me, I just like, I'm like, all right, I gotta get out of here. I gotta take a walk. I gotta like, I'm actually really excited about having my office outside of the bridal shop because I can escape it if I need to, and it doesn't like affect them, and they don't have to feel the burden of like what we go through as owners, because that's
Or
not. Yeah.
Well, and just one more thing that I want to highlight you did is you changed what you consume online, which is a very big impact that people don't realize. But who we follow and the accounts that we engage with really do change and impact us because it's like subtle little messaging and it's getting into our subconscious. And when we're doing that regularly every single day, that has a long term deeper impact than we think because it's like those few minutes consistently every day add into like building in the negativity. So I think having a cleanse, at the end of the year for people to go through their accounts and be like, who am I following? Why am I consuming this content? What am I listening to? Like it's feeding our mind just like food feeds our body. And
Yeah.
so it's like, hey, what are we consuming? Let's be really intentional about that. And it's 100% a core belief for me is that's why I created Boss is like, hey, we're going to have a positive community that says this is the realities of what we face as business owners, but like how can we impact that from a positive standpoint and not complain about it? It's
Yeah.
just it's a reality. Okay, now let's fix it. And so I love that you're getting really deep into this stuff because I can only imagine what your 2026 is going to be like if this is where your mind is right now.
Yeah, it is. I'm super excited for 2026. And there was one thing I want to say that you had brought up that like we get to do what we do every day. And so my Reed McClennan he does my life insurance, and he used to be a physical therapist, and he came to my office one day, and I asked him, I was like, how do you like your new job? And he's like, oh my gosh, I love it. He's like, I love being able to like make sure that people are like secure in life, that if they lose a loved one or like they pass away, like they know like that their family and friends are taken care of, and the businesses and all the things. And he said, nothing's worse than having to go to work every day and telling somebody you'll never walk again. You'll never be able to use your hand again. You'll never, or telling a mother that your kid will never walk again, or your kid, will never be able to throw a football or, hit a baseball. And
Like,
I know, like, I'm trying not to, like, and when he told me that, I was like, man, and he wasn't even implying anything with me, but then I was thinking, like, I get to create life moments. I get to work with people in the most amazing, fun, happy times of their whole life. And I get to do that. Like I don't have to. I don't have to wake up and do what I do every day. I could sell my business right now and I can go work for my parents and run a multi-million-dollar company for my parents. Like there's so many things that I can do, but I get to do this. Like I get to wake up and create life moments. And that has like really like tremendously impacted me as well, because it's important for us bridal shop owners to remember that like we don't you can choose to walk away. And so but we get the opportunity, we
yeah,
get the opportunity to have that option to walk away if we wanted to. It wouldn't
sure.
be easy, but it is an option. So
Love that. I love that. Okay, well, if people are like, I'm obsessed with this girl, I want to follow her personal brand and I want to follow her store, like, where can they find you?
Okay, so I'm just Alicia Ann Watson Adams on Facebook, and then I have Hers Bridal on special occasions. So there's only one Hers Bridal out there,
Are
and
you
so
on personally on Instagram?
just Hers Bridal. I don't really have a personal things on Instagram. I probably should. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't been on them for so long that I know I need to work on
So
it.
they should follow Hers Bridal.
Yeah, follow Hers Bridal. You'll see me in all the cute little videos, and I do have my TikTok is Little Tiny Nightmare, so that's my don't judge me. That's my friends. That's just a funny joke that I did a long time ago. It's Little Tiny Nightmare, and that's what they call me because I'm short and
I
tiny.
love it. And you're a powerhouse.
Yes, I'm fierce.
You're fierce.
Yes,
Hey, I wouldn't see any other way, especially being a redhead and just having all that fire inside of you.
yeah, that's right.
I love it. Well, it's been a pleasure getting to chat with you today, Alicia. I'm so excited to see your journey continue to grow and just like all the things that are ahead for Hers Bridal and for you and your husband. Thank you for being here today, and we will keep talking soon, okay?
Thanks. Thanks for having me. This was fun.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Bridal Owner Success Stories. I hope you found some inspiration and encouragement for your own career in the bridal industry. If you enjoyed today's episode, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. We are in this together.